Hi guys, I am so sorry that I'm late. I promised I'd be on at 9, but I have a really good reason. Uh, my church's marriage ministry had an impromptu date night, and we went to see a movie, and the movie was called The Overcomers, and I highly recommend it. Take your tissue because it was that kind of movie, but it was wonderful. So I'm glad to be on here tonight, Len Sharif, and I this past week did a series. Well, actually, I'm doing a series, a four-part series on "Girl, Please Stop It." And the idea and the reason for that name is that I wanted to address some of the things that we as women or wives are doing that could potentially be damaging to our relationship. So on this past week, I talked about, girl, what are you wearing? And the reason that I started there, because again, it's things that I'm going through, and I want to see if anybody else is going through them as well. My husband, in a not, well, I guess it was, he was honest with me. And he told me that while I dress up really well when I'm outside of the home, when I was home, I had this outfit that I was very attached to. Had it for years. It was a thermal dress. It had holes in it. And then I had this little lumberjack jacket I had over it. It was just not moving. It was not good. So he told me I looked homeless. So that was the impetus for me. And really what happened is that I was just not being intentional, just going through life. And you know how they talk about, those commercials that say that you can become nose blind to how your house smells. I had become blind to how I looked. So that really helped spur me on to just do better. And I heard from a lot of you this week, and a lot of ladies, what they had in common is that their husbands would let them know, hey babe, I think I need for you to dress that up a little bit. But most of you agreed with the fact that you do need to put more effort into it because men are visual, and it just is better for everybody if you are more mindful of it. But I really, for the few minutes that I'm going to be with you tonight, I wanted to look at some of the underlying reasons and have us look inside to see what might be going on there. I mentioned earlier that I had just been unintentional, but something else that was happening for me is that over the years I had begun to put a little more weight on, and I wasn't at my healthiest. And so I had to make a decision, and this was not being driven by what I believe my husband wanted, but it was for me. And I wanted to get healthier and just, because if you don't really create a lifestyle of being healthy, it's very difficult to pour out to other people, pour out to your husband if you're not feeling your best. Now, this is not, hey Sean, this is not about me saying you need to be skinny. It's not really about that. I'm really focusing more on your health, no matter what your size is. As a matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, I took a sensual movement class, which was amazing, and I'm definitely going to do it again. And the instructor for that class was a plus size woman. And I promise you, she was doing things that I wish I could do. And just absolutely beautiful. The point is to learn to love the skin that you're in. But if you're not loving the skin that you're in, I'm asking that you just be really intentional about seeing after your health. And this is something that was also very important to me because years ago, not that many years ago, but my husband and I, we were full-time caregivers for my mother-in-law. And my mother-in-law, I call her. And she had been really ravaged by diabetes and not being intentional about looking after her health. And diabetes never ends well. It doesn't. So I just want to encourage you to do what you have to do in order to be comfortable with the skin you're in and seek ways to really help you be more comfortable. I mentioned that I had taken that sensual movement class, and it really helped me just to get more in touch with my girly parts and all of the things that are really important to be and feel attractive, because that attractiveness comes from the inside. The other area that I really needed to address so that I could be more intentional about what I was wearing around the house, I am middle-aged and was starting to experience menopause symptoms, and they were debilitating to me. They were hot flashes and mood swings and unable to sleep. And I just knew that I really didn't want to live that way. And so I sought out help. I sought out help to try and regulate that so that I could be my best self. And I will drop that information in the comments on this evening, just so that if you are someone who is struggling in this area, that you could look after it, because you don't have to suffer that way. There are things that are out there that can help you feel better. And that was huge. That was really huge for me. One benefit, I mean, my husband was not happy because I literally had a fan as far as my arm. I just had to reach my arm out and turn the fan on. So in the dead of winter, I had a fan on. So he was suffering right there with me. So he was very excited about me seeking help for that. The best part about it, though, is that I was not interested, because pajamas were like putting on a parka for me. So that was a benefit for him, but he was not happy with the fact that he had a fan at the side of his bed. So I will drop the comments on that, drop that in the comments, because I sought help not just for the menopause symptoms, but also in helping me to find a very healthy weight loss method. And I, got great help and was able to drop a good amount of weight. And that really helped me feel better about what was happening on the inside. And so that I could be intentional about still appearing and doing those things that are just help me look better around the house. So we talked about you seeing after your health. We talked about you seeing, is there anything going on? And here's the other thing. I want to address this other group, because I have a lot of friends who are just in the middle of life. They've got a lot. You may have a lot of children. You may have work. You may have life going on. I talked about when we were full-time caregivers for my mother-in-law, that the water line was right here during that period of time in my life. And there was really, it was, the relationship was not front and center. But what was happening is that we had to be extremely intentional, literally setting dates. If you were in that particular time in your life when life is really, really going on hot and heavy, you have to put that on the calendar. You have to put time with your spouse on the calendar. It's not spontaneous like it was when you were dating, because this is real life, and I get it. Real life happens. But being intentional about putting the dates on the calendar, getting a babysitter, or doing whatever you need to do, because in my last series, when I talked about the top 10 marriage killers, it's about spending quality time with each other. That no matter what, even if life is going on, you can have distance that can be created if you don't have that undivided, meaning without children, undivided time with each other. So if that is happening for you, I totally understand that. So we've talked about a number of things, so I really appreciate you joining me. I will put the information that I referred to in the comments, and look forward to, it is a holiday on tomorrow, so enjoy your time with your family. But I will see you again on next week for Marriage Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.